Hi, Paul Sackis, Good News Planet. I'm speaking to Michael Chiarello. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Excellent, Paul. How you doing today?
Hi, good. What is it like to have a name that you say, it just sounds like Chianti?
It took me a few years to dream that one up because my name sounded like the butcher of Palermo had a knife at it.
Well, you know how to make wine as well, don't you?
I do. I'm right from my kitchen, but on both sides of me, there's the front yard's got some Zinfandel and Cabernet. The backyard's got some Petit Syrah on the other side. So we're right in the heart of the wine country here.
And did you grow up in this business?
You know, my family was all in the food business. They're all butchers and cheesemakers and dairymen. So we grew up doing this and living a very Italian immigrant life where this time of the year we'd be mushroom hunting, we'd be canning mushrooms, putting up the rest of our tomatoes, curing olives, making olive oil, making wine, and when we didn't make good wine, making vinegar.
My grandfather was a butcher.
So I grew up in this, but I started in the restaurant business when I was 13.
Wow, it's great, and you seem to be quite happy about it.
Oh, I love it to death. It's a fantastic addiction.
Did you ever imagine that at the end it would say your name, would say chef, restaurant owner, author, and television star?
No. You know, when I started in the business, Paul, it was and still is a trade, and so you would learn it with welders and plumbers and cooks. And I still look at it as a trade every day. I feel blessed that we have. I mean, next is going to be celebrity plumbers. I mean, go figure.
Well, they should be celebrities.
There should be, because when you need a plumber, a cook just won't do.
You got to feed them. You got to do it. Pretty wild. We're going to talk about some good things, and Progresso, I believe, is also involved with this, and we love Progresso and their foods and so on, and their sustainability and a lot of good things that they do. So we're going to talk about Thanksgiving. What's going on?
Well, you know, Paul, when it comes to Thanksgiving, I think there are a lot of tips as a chef and as a country boy that grew up in the country where all these turkeys are raised that are pretty easy. Now, as a chef tip is you never want to cook a protein that's cold. You want to bring your turkey out for an hour and a half, let it get to room temperature first. That way, instead of this really cold protein meat like this, it's a little looser. The fibers are opened up. You're going to find that your bird cooks a lot more evenly. If you like to brine your turkey great, then all you have to do is olive oil it and roast it. If you're not a briner, I don't butter my bird. I olive oil my bird. So I take some olive oil, salt and pepper, and I season it thoroughly. I want to make sure that every bite is perfectly seasoned. Salt and pepper on the back side, because you do eat the back of the wing, not just the front of the wing. So that's like just combing the front of your hair, you know.
Right.
And so some more olive oil on the front and the breast. Salt and pepper again. Now, I don't stuff my birds. I'm not terribly opposed to it, but I tend to think it dries the breast out just a little bit. Some of that dry bread dressing on the inside. What I do put in the cavity of the bird is some herbs. I have some rosemary and sage and thyme. I grab a couple lemons, and those go in and they roast together. The lemon juice comes into the cavity, and I think it makes a very, very flavorful bird. Now, what I don't do is I don't truss my bird. There's all the magazines now are giving you 19 steps to truss a bird. I can't figure out how to do that, come up underneath. I don't even tie the legs together. This part of the thigh right here, and this part of the wing, if you truss them, you're trussing them all shut. And that's going to take a lot longer for those to get hot. So this breast right here is overcooked by the time the heat gets into this thigh. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
So I kind of leave it a splay like that. Put it right on. I use a vegetable roasting rack rather than a roasting rack. It's a lot easier to clean, and it makes the perfect gravy. I'll show you how. Turkey goes right on top. I take some Progresso chicken broth, the all-natural chicken broth. That goes into the pan. I put this into the oven and roast it. That way, when the turkey's roasting, the vegetables are roasting, and all those flavors and juices come right into the chicken broth and turn it into a really, really fortified, rich turkey broth. Then you take the turkey out and you let it rest right there on top, and any other juices come out on top. You have a gravy-ready broth just ready to go. Add a little Wonder flour, and you're going to be a hero this holiday season.
This all sounds very, very, very good. Let me ask you a question, because I don't know, I'm a little, and I like to cook, and I cook a lot. And but putting oil, I'm afraid to put oil like on the turkey. Why do I think that? It's going to burn. Maybe, am I wrong?
No, you know, there's fat underneath the skin of the turkey. What I'm trying to do is to encourage the caramelization in the browning. See, I do a 12-pound bird, and if I need if I need 24 pounds of birds, I do 2 12-pounders because I like twice the amount of parts. I think the flavor's better. But I do the same thing with my chicken. You get a really crisp skin. Butter is too moist, and I think it ends up making your turkey a little splotchy. I don't like the way the butter looks on the outside of the skin. I don't mind butter if you want to put it underneath the skin. But I buy a nice natural bird, olive oil on the outside. I don't mess with it. I don't fry it. I don't smoke it. I don't stick a duck in it, followed by a quail, followed by a sparrow. I don't do any of that.
How about at the same time, to conserve, in essence, when you're cooking that, some of the side dishes?
Now, the side dishes that I love to take, like I have this little pumpkin pastina risotto over here where I take some pumpkin or winter squash that you cook up. You can roast it or boil it. You make a nice puree, and you can do pumpkin pastina. Or the next day, like you can take some of your leftover turkey and fold it right into that risotto and serve it the next day. I have a beautiful squash soup that I have some toasted panko. You know, the Japanese breadcrumbs? My friends at Progresso make some. I toast them in the oven and get them nice and brown. I take some toasted pumpkin seeds and this toasted panko, and it's a great crunchy topping for the soup. Now, when it comes to the day after, I do a day after turkey soup where I dice up all the ingredients: green beans, sweet potatoes, turkey, and I caramelize some carrots, onions, and celery. Then I add to that a little more Progresso chicken broth. And then I put the turkey, the vegetables, the potatoes in there, and I put the pasta as well, a little pastina or ditalini or something like that. In about 15 minutes, you have a beautiful turkey soup that's healthy and nutritious. And after a day of binge eating, it's nice to have a nice healthy soup with some of the same ingredients, saving you some money, and it's going to give everybody a hug right inside their stomach.
There you go. Now, you can go to the Progresso website as well, which we'll link over to. You can view the recipe, play some video. You got a $1 off coupon here, and you could win a trip to come out and see you, Michael. What is that?
Exactly. To come to my harvest party at Chiarello Family Vineyards right here at my house out in the middle of the vineyard.
God almighty.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so it's progressobroth.com. All these recipes and the rest of my holiday tips you can find right there.
And the new book, what's in there?
Bottega. Bottega is all about my restaurant in Yountville that I opened this restaurant a couple years ago. It has all my favorite recipes, but it's more kind of not a tell-all, but kind of a tell-some about what it's like to be in the restaurant business and the behind-the-scenes looks. It's not a book about me. It's about a book about the team and the entire family of what we put together. And if you can't get out to the Napa Valley and taste it yourself, the book's a way for you to be able to taste it in your house.
All right, last quick question. What's good news for you? Obviously, there's a ton going on, but what's good news?
Good news is as a grape grower, we finally got the grapes off and in the barn, and it looks like it's going to be a dynamite vintage, and the restaurant's still full of people that like to eat, and the economy's on the bounce back.
Okay. Happy, and so's baseball in San Francisco.
That's right.
Congratulations on all your success.
Thanks,
and
Happy holidays. Happy
you as well. Take care, Michael.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.